Greetings Internet, welcome to Aaron Plays, and I hope you're doing fantastically well. This will be my German turn 6 of Anzio by Avalon Hill, 4th edition, or 3rd edition, still unsure. So, in the last episode we had the Allies do a large attack on the eastern shore, not an invasion but a breakthrough on the river. I use the word breakthrough, that's a rule term. It wasn't a breakthrough, but it was an elimination of a Panzer Grenadier division. And the Allies are across the Trigno River. So what will be the Germans' response? Well, before we get to the Germans' response, there is one other little Allied thing I've got to do, which is the Allied air points. So they weren't necessarily needed in the attack, but I want to use them for defensive air support. Okay, so anyone who watched my last video will know that it's mud. This is October 3. Just as a reminder of the effect of the mud is that it makes plain terrain 2 movement points, rough terrain 4. This here is to remind myself, because when I'm shooting the video, get lost in what I'm actually doing, I'll probably forget that. Also, the Germans have actually got a fair few units coming on this turn. Okay, last turn, well, the Allied turn they lost, but they're getting 2 new divisions, so these will be coming on the north part of the map, and 2 replacements, so it'll be an armoured and an infantry replacement, and a new fort. So, yeah. They've also got a division that was started on the last time. Is on his way down. So he's been tracking. He's sitting over here on his way down. Now, just as an aside, this is my light. These are all my cubes that I've been using. So using the play surface that's not being played on. Obviously my dice tower and the actual sheets there. So okay, now last episode I did have a little bit of slippage with the camera. It kept on doing a little bit of this, so hopefully that won't occur, and I'm going to get rid of that cube as well. That was a reminder cube. So what to do with the Germans? What to do indeed. Well, this part of the front is still strong, as we've seen. The Allies could a maximum of 1-to-1, and well, actually let's take that air off, it's not there at the present moment. That might be. So yeah, this area is quite strong. It's now what to do with this area, because the Allies are through at this point. If we go and occupy that hill, we've got to attack. Now the Allies have got in there 6, 7, 8, 9 defence points. 9, so we need 18. The Germans just do not have the capability of raising 18 points. So let's put the 2 replacements in Rome, because that's where they can start from a major city. So we'll put them over in Rome. Okay, oh, camera's a bit stiff. I made it stiff so it actually doesn't droop, but that makes it then obviously difficult to turn. Okay, where to build that fortification, and these 2 divisions, they'll be coming on from the north edge of the map, so these 2 new divisions. So I'm going to place those where, because I've already counted out the movement points, where the last turn division got to doing strat move, which was here. So let's put those there, and we know this division is going to get down to be able to get close to the front line. So that's there, moving down the road. So the question is where to defend. We don't want to abandon these fortifications, so where to defend? Do we actually have any spare capacity to stretch the line again, because I left that quite weak. We know the Allies haven't got a commando that can actually come in next turn, because, unless it's a reinforcement commando, no. So we don't have to worry about that. That was the mistake I made for the Germans there. But we can't get into that mountains unless we're prepared to attack there. That Allied unit, as I say, there's 9 defence points there. We could get a 2-to-1 on it. Is it worth 2-to-1? Push them back. And then try and hold that mountain. So that's using these 2 units. That's, as I said, the first thing I had to do was the Allied defensive air. So I'm now pointing that out. I'm thinking, oh man, yeah, we can do a maximum 1 defensive air point there. So actually that makes that 10. Let's place these out before I start getting carried away. Yeah, right, so that's Allied defence there. So we know that's got a hex as 10. So we can get, we definitely get 5, 6, another 5 is 11, plus 6, 17. We can get 17. We might be able to get 2-to-1 on that. The question is it worth it? Is it worth it? Okay, working out this German attack has been quite tricky, but I think we're ready to let's give it a try. Okay, so this unit coming out of the fort there is going to go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 11 and a half, 12 along that road. Okay. Then this armoured unit here is going to go 4, 8, 12. So that's 6 plus 5 is 11 so far. Then we're going to go with this armour 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Whoops. So that's 5. And so there's 2 lots of 11. That is 22. So that is a 2-to-1. So now we can try and fill in the rest of this defence line, if we can. So we've got a new division coming down. He can strap move. So, okay, from this hex here. So it's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. He's got a total of 16 can move. That's 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16. So we can get there for 15. We want something to occupy that fort. Need more units. Okay, well, one, 2, 3, 3.5, 4.5, 5.5, 6.5, 7.5, 8, 8.5, 9.5, 10.5 into the fort. And we'll move the Nebelwerfers into that fort as well. Okay. Oh dear, oh dear, oh dear. Now then, let's put this unit into the fort. So that means he's holding the line on his own. So let's have a look at this. Ally, I'm looking at zones of control in this area here. The Allies advance, moving to there, they've got to stop there. They could get 3 units. 2, 3. We could probably get another replacement point into there. 1, 2. No. 1, 1.5, 2, 2.5, 3.5. Let's recount that. 1, 1.5, 2.5, 3.5, 4.5, 5 to there. 6 along the road. 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13. Didn't start adjacent, didn't end adjacent. So now we've got a defence in there of 2, 3, 4, 8. And then just in front of casino, we've got 7, 8. Okay. So the replacements, we can't reoccupy this hex. We just do not have the strength. And we've got a gap here as well. Oh dear, oh dear, oh dear. Too many gaps. Not enough units. We definitely got to have something there. We've got 2 replacements. Where are they going to get to? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13. Well, they can go there, but that is poor, isn't it? Well, guess what? Who's getting the air support? That infantry division just can't get there. Well, that is it. Now, the fort. When can I build the fort? Right, so they're built during the movement phase before combat. Forts may be built on any playable hex which is not in an Allied zone of control and which has been friendly to the Germans at least since the end of the preceding Allied turn. So I can't build a fortification in these hexes here, which would be nice, but it's not allowed. But I think that might be worth a fortification. So, yeah. And then we've got, so that's the movement. So we've got the actual attack, which, as I say, I've worked out as 2 to 1 on this guy. So let's just make sure I haven't been cooking the books. So it's 6, 7, 8, 9. There's no, sorry, plus 1 air is 10. Should we zoom in a little bit? 10. And then we've got 6, 11 from that hex, and 11 from that hex. That's 22 to 10. That's 2 to 1. And we have got armour, and it is rough terrain, so my armour will actually drop, so it's still 21. Okay, so 21. There's the dice of doom. 2 to 1 attack. 1. That's a good result. Right, so the Germans take 1 loss, the Allies take 2 and must retreat. Okay. Okay, so remembering I'm using a house rule that the largest unit must take the step loss. Again, someone said, oh, that's not fair on the Germans, and it might not be, but I still have problems with these big divisions being going in, and then there's a little, I think he was referring to the Nebelwerfer. Why doesn't that take the step loss? Well, when it was defending, it just doesn't feel right. Subsequent, if there was 2 losses, then yes. But that first loss in my mind, and if it unbalances the game, I don't know, should always be on the largest combat unit involved. So, as I say, it was a 2-1 with the ones. There's 2 Allied losses. So that New Zealand unit is the largest unit in the stack. So let's move those over there. So that will take the loss, the first loss. And the next loss we will take, well, each one of those has only got 1 step. So we'll have the commando take it, and they've got to fall back or retreat. And this is where, how far do they have to retreat? Retreat is 1 or 2 hexes. So let's get the inverted unit out of dodge. He'll fall back to that city, whatever that city is, and we'll have the New Zealanders fall back to there. So that was 2 step losses and a retreat. The Germans have got to take 1 step loss, so that's a 6, and that's a 6. Let's take it on this unit here, which is the 2nd parachute division. Sorry, got the arm in the way there. Okay, so we can now advance and attack again, but looking at the amount of allies there are here, we have 6, 12. I don't think so. We can advance and not attack, which is also allowed, and I think that might be the option we'll go for. So who shall we advance in there? Because he'll now get the double for the river, so we only really need to advance the 1 unit. We know the Allies are going to cross here, but then they're going to have to attack here. It's only got defence of 2, but that's the only unit that's going to get across there, so it's tough. It's tough on both sides. Well, the air unit was used. Oh, the commando will also fall back to just that hex there. Okay, so that was the German. Well, that wasn't too bad. 2-1. It took us, that lost 2. Yeah, it's not too bad. We forced them back across the river, but the line is wafer thin. Wafer thin, it's stretched. Right, so we've got 1 air support. Where are we going to put that? I think it was on that little bedraggled fort there. It's been garrisoned by a couple of replacements and green units and such forth, so yeah. Okay, so both sides had a successful attack. So we had a good Allied attack, German counter-attack, but to fulfill that counter-attack, the Germans have had to stretch their line thin. So we'll have to see what the Allies can do in turn 7, which is also, by the looks of it, yeah, it's also mud. So yeah, that's it. I hope you enjoyed it. Hit the like button if you could. Subscribe if you haven't done so already. I know it's all the YouTube bullshit. It's, we've got to sort of say it to remind you, please hit the like button, because it does promote the channel. Please subscribe if you haven't done so already, because again, it promotes the channel. The more people that subscribe, the more people get to see it, blah, blah, blah. Comments, yes, I do respond to comments. Much appreciated when I see them. I enjoy reading them. and also enjoy the bit of discourse, and also the things that I miss. You know, I've had a few rules, watches, gotchas and such forth, so all picked out in the comments. As I said in the prior video, the advanced game, I've looked at the rules are sitting there. I'm not going to read them until I know that I'm going to actually do the advanced game, and the only way I'm going to do the advanced game is if you guys let me know. You know, in the comments, let me know that you want to see the advanced game, because there's plenty of other games that I've got sitting on the shelf saying, come on players, please, which was the whole point of making the channel in the first place. So if you want to see the advanced game, let me know in the comments, and I can okay, I can spend the time, because there's a lot of units sitting there that aren't doing anything. So until next time, bye internet.